Well, it's lunchtime with Southern Maryland Divers, and it's Dive Master John here. Um, we are broadcasting today live from the shop. It's not abandoned. We are doing, if you need something, or you need some help, or you need some information, or you need something, all you have to do is call, and we can set up an appointment and take care of your gear. Or if you need a piece of gear or something, we can take care of you during this period of time, okay? But since it is abandoned, I got permission from my children to come down here and do a live broadcast, okay? So I've wiped everything down, and we'll be wiping myself down as well after I leave. So, and I also have a lovely assistant who's going to be helping me with my with this broadcast today. So if you see me, I will be using two hands today during this broadcast. We're going to be doing talking about masks today. All right. So here we go. So we're going to try this. This is going to be interesting. My camera person, a young lady by the name of Kathy, is going to be doing my camera work. We'll see how that goes, and we're going to try this out. Okay. So. Yesterday was interesting. We did one on what?
Save a dive.
Save a dive kit. Yeah, thank you. We did a save a dive kit, and somehow my phone stopped responding, and I couldn't get it saved. So I may redo it again and save it, so it'll be there for everybody to see. But we'll see how that goes. So, in any event, let's get started here. There you go. All right. Two hands. This is usually I do this with one hand. So let's do this. So we got masks. One of the most important pieces of equipment you have when you go diving is a mask. Masks. I always tell people, what's the first piece of equipment you buy is a dive mask, and fit is the most important thing. I see people come in the shop all the time, and they've bought something online, or they've had a mask that they've gone snorkeling with, or some other such thing, or they've had it forever. And the difference between diving and snorkeling is immense. First off, you're putting some pressure on, you're going down to depth. Splashing around on the surface is not the same as diving, and that some masks that you bought online may not fit properly. Getting properly fit for a mask, and usually what I tell people is there's the way you prioritize these things is first and foremost is fit. If it doesn't fit right, a leaky mask is a terrible thing to have underwater. So it's fit first, then it's your budget. It's what your budget, and it's always important to people. And then the third thing is features. So what's the fit? And by fit, there's the first and most important thing is, does it leak? Okay, you got to check it to make sure that it leaks, that it fits properly around your face, and that has to do with the skirt. Okay, if the skirt fits properly, then it's not going to leak. The other thing that you want to check when you put a mask on is where the nose pocket, and of course the bridge of the nose. Okay, some people put a mask on, depending upon the design and the shape of their nose, the construction of their face, this bridge can bang up against their nose, and that can cause, after a period of time, that can be an uncomfortable dive. And the thing about diving is, and the thing about owning any piece of dive equipment is, the idea is for it to disappear, really. So you just want to be in the water diving. So fit is very important on a mask. And people who buy stuff on the internet, I kind of laugh. Where other people will come in and they'll have a mask and they'll say, "Oh, I've had it for years, and I don't see any reason to, spend any money on a mask." And yet they'll spend thousands of dollars on a trip, and they'll have this old cheap mask. And I look at it, and you can tell right away when a mask isn't fitting on somebody. And usually the way I tell very easily is, what they've done is they get out and you see the bright red ring around their face. from the skirt. And what they've done is the mask is leaking, so they keep pulling this and pulling this and pulling this, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. Because as a mask ages, what happens to it is this skirt, you see it starts to, this is nice and clear, and over the course of time, what happens is this will start yellowing. And when it's yellowing, it starts to lose its flexibility. And that flexibility is what gives it the ability to give a complete contact with your skin, okay? And that's what prevents leakage. That's what keeps it from leaking, okay? And as the mask ages, it starts to lose that flexibility. So even though the mask may look perfectly fine, as the mask ages, it can lose its ability to do what it's designed to do, which is let you see underwater without leaking. So, you know, like I said, I can always tell on a boat when people, after they come up from the dive and they've taken off their masks and they have this bright red ring around their face, and they go, yeah, how's your mask fit? Oh, it's fine. It's leak. No, it's fine. And they keep tugging it tighter and tighter. And eventually what happens is the strap breaks. So in my discussion yesterday, I talked about Save the Dive kit is have one of these available. But usually if you have a good fitting mask, you don't have to pull this as tight, because ultimately what happens as you get down in the water, it's the water pressure that presses up against the mask that keeps the mask from leaking, okay? It's not how tight you pull, it's not pulling this tight. If you got to pull this really tight, then the mask isn't properly fitted to your face. And there's different size faces, different shaped faces. There's skinny faces, there's big faces. I have, for instance, I have a very large head. My lovely bride calls it a fat head. Yes, and I also have a lot of facial hair. And I've had facial hair since 1970, some form. You know, either the porno mustache from the 80s, or Fu Manchu, or goatee, or beards at various times. So finding masks that don't leak have been a challenge. So a big head with facial hair. One of the masks I found that worked really well for me and I was very happy with for a while was this mask here from Dive Right. And one of the other things you look at masks too is there's big differences in masks. You'll see this has 2 frames, this has a single frame. So when I ask people to try a mask on, that's one of the other things I always ask them to do is look out of the mask, because that's your porch window on the underwater world. See what is going on. Are you comfortable with the view? Are you seeing what's happening? Do you like what you're seeing? And so and there's differences. So there's differences in this mask. If you look at this is 2 frames, and look, it's a teardrop shape as opposed to the cutoff on the other one. So like I was saying, I like this mask because this one, the design was on this one, very narrow, and it had a really nice a skirt on here, and with my large head and hairy face, this very little leakage, and I was very happy with this mask for a long time. And then this one came out, the Apex. Now this is expensive mask, but I don't know what black magic they used, who sold their soul to the devil to get this mask get the design on this mask. But this mask, first off, it fits my fat head, and interestingly enough, it fits a lot of faces. What I've found is fitting a lot of different people. It fits a variety of face shapes, and as far as facial hair is concerned, this is the only mask I've ever put on that actually fits, creates a suction on my face, even with the hair. Now let me show you how you fit a mask, so you understand. When you try a mask on, okay, first thing you got to do is brush your hair back. I no longer have that problem. For a lot of people, it's still a problem, especially women and young people. So when you do that, you want to take the mask, drag it down, not push up, because that will bend the skirt down. You bring the mask over your nose and suck in with your nose. and you're looking for a good solid seal with no air leaking in around. And with this mask, I can actually get a seal around there, which I have never in my entire life been able to do with any other mask. So to me, this is just an amazing mask. And it also has just some other really nice features in terms of being able to adjust the mask. It also has a really nice strap on the back, which is another difference. If you look at the straps on the back of these masks, they vary greatly. This is a nice pull-up to flatten it out, keeps it nice and secure on the back of your head. So there's differences there as well. And for people who have hair, there are other things that you can use. There are straps, we sell them as well, that you can put on. We call them, they're referred to as technically as mask strap covers. There's colloquially, I can't pronounce it.
Colloquially.
Thank you. Known as slap straps, okay? And they go on the back of the strap, and they allow you to slide the mask over the back of your hair without getting hair all tangled up. So these are pretty nice if you have hair, especially the lady divers love them. Guys with hair like them. Some people just like them because it helps differentiate their mask. Easy to find in the bin on the back of the boat. So that's what I would tell you as far as fitting is concerned. So like I said, one of the other things you want to do when you put the mask on, before I put that back on, one of the other things you want to do when you put the mask on is you want to look to make sure that the mask you put on fits well against the nose, so it doesn't break up against your bridge of your nose, okay? Some people that becomes a problem with. So it's, you're looking out through the mask to see what your view is. Are you happy with the view? Does it not leak around the edge? And fit on the bridge of the nose. So nice view, no leak, excellent, and you're good to go. Now you worry about the price. You worry about other features on there, because there are masks and then there are masks. A lot of different features. For instance, like I said, you've got there are other things that are important about masks. Some of them are, I'm going to talk about here, is there are low volume masks, and then there are high volume masks. And what do we mean by that? Well, for instance, you've got a mask like this, which is extremely low volume. That means it has a little bit, just a small amount of volume on your face. If you look, you see there's a very small mask on my face. And the idea is the lower the volume is on the mask, the less air you have to put in to clear it. Also, the closer it is to your face, okay? And this is a lower volume mask than this is. And it doesn't require as much clearing when you get water in the mask. And also it's lighter, okay? It's less stuff there. Now this mask is a really large mask, and it has side vents on the side, side view on the side. So when you put this one on, theoretically the idea is you can look out the side of it. But because it sticks out so far, really the physics of this, the design of these things are, if you have a low volume mask, the lenses are actually closer to your eyes, all right? And when it gets close to your eyes, you really do have a lot of peripheral vision. With this, because the mask sticks out so far, the side views let you see out to the side. But 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But some people feel a lot more comfortable in this because they feel a little bit claustrophobic in the water sometimes. And these side panels make them feel a little bit better. And if it makes you feel better, if you're happier with the side panels, you like the light coming in, good, then this is the mask for you, because it's what makes you comfortable in the water after all. So that's one feature. Let me put this one down for a second. So that's one feature. Another feature that this particular mask has that's different is you get taught in class about purging, right? You purge your mask, you blow out and let it out. Well, this one has a purge valve on the bottom of the nose, so you just blow out. You don't have to touch your mask at all. You just blow out through the bottom and clear your mask out that way. Okay, so it has a nice purge valve on the bottom. That's a nice feature. So if that's what you want to do, that's great. Other features on masks. This particular mask here, for instance, has a gauge reader on the bottom. So if you're semi-blind like me, you can't read anything anymore, this is a good option to have because it lets you see out normally through the front. Like I have trouble reading, I can't see, I can see fine far away, but reading my gauges is a little bit difficult now. So with the gauge readers, there you have magnification, so you can read your gauges underwater. All right. Let's see what other. So, and of course, then we have other masks for other purposes. Yes, we have full facial masks. This one uses your regulator and lets you. This is great for cold water environments or environments. Let's say you don't want to get you know, a little bit nasty. You want as little skin contact as possible. This is a great mask for that. Or you just want to be different. You know, this is an excellent mask for that. But definitely for cold water environment, you know, it helps keep the cheeks warm and your face a lot warmer. Then we have a step up from that. This one, by the way, you use your own regulator. This one has a regulator built in. Now both of these masks are by OTS, and both of them have different options that allow you to have, for instance, communications underwater. So you can actually begin to communicate. You've probably seen the History Channel or the Discovery Channel where they have shows where divers are talking. Yeah, these are the masks that they're using. So you have those options to you available as well. So you know, if you don't want your face to get in the muck, or you're diving extremely cold water, these are good options as well. For instance, the oyster dive that's coming up, and you're in your dry suit and you don't want your cheeks to get cold. Yeah, come in and talk to us. We can take care of you with those. So those are the main differences in the mask, and there's different mechanical differences too in terms of how the straps attach, the adjustments on here, and one of the other things that happens with masks too is as you go up in price, you go from the least expensive to, let's say, the most expensive masks. What you'll notice is when you pick up the expensive masks and the more budget-friendly masks, you notice there's a difference in terms of the quality of the materials. And I always make the comparison that you know, you get in a Chevy and you touch the plastic dashboard, and then you get in the Mercedes and you touch the plastic dashboard. Yeah, there's a difference. And so this is going to last a little longer. It's going to be a little bit more robust than the less expensive mask. So my advice to you, and just in terms of let's say also the adjustment, the mechanics in terms of adjusting the strap on the side is also a little bit nicer. This actually has a metal roll. The other ones are just little plastic gizmos. So that's the differences. Okay, and so my advice to you in terms of masks are fit. First, make sure they fit properly. Why buy it on the internet? We're just as competitive as any price on the internet that you're going to find. Come in, let us fit you properly. It's going to be very important to make sure the mask is properly fit around the skirt, around the bridge of the nose. Make sure it feels comfortable on your face, that you have a proper low volume or high volume, that the features that you want, whether it's you know, side skirts, whether it's gauge reader, whether it's two lenses or a single lens, or even whether, you know, you're just doing primarily diving in the Caribbean and you want something to help filter out some of the bright sunlight. We can go through all of these different options with you to help you make the right decision. And don't be that guy in the boat that has the really bright red rings. Says, "Oh, my mask is fine," and then winds up breaking his mask because he's trying to pull it too tight. Yeah, don't be that guy. Okay, we can help you out and let you know what it's really supposed to be. So if there's any, one other point I'll make, you'll see the other thing I get a lot of questions on: do the snorkels fit on the mask? Yeah, any snorkel fits on any mask, so it's pretty simple. So.
How do I care for and maintain my new mask?
Care and maintenance. Well, first off, when you buy a mask, the first thing you do is I always give people homework. The first thing you got to do is go home. You got to take care of your mask. And you want to start an argument on a dive boat is how to clean your brand new mask. One of the first things I do is I tell people is go home, get a bucket of water, okay, dial up Netflix or Prime, pick up something you want to watch on TV. I highly recommend Miss Maisel right now. That's pretty funny. I enjoyed that. And get a bucket, get some toothpaste, not the gel kind, but the old kind. The old new kind has got little micro beads in it, and it can scratch up your mask a little bit. So the old kind, and then dip it in the water, put a little couple drops, a little couple dabs do you in here, and then scrub, dip, and repeat. Do it till you're sick of it, then do it some more, and take a break. Watch a little bit, then do it some more. Okay. Because what happens is they spray some chemicals on here and they get this stuff in here. Now, if you're an old guy, and if you've ever had your windshield replaced and you've had that film come up the inside of your windshield after having your windshield replaced, this is similar. Okay, that's kind of same kind of thing goes on, and no amount of mask defogger is going to get rid of that. Okay. So you need to scrub it all out, get it nice and clean on the inside. Now you don't have to worry about the outside because, well, that's always in contact with the water, right? So make sure the inside is clean. And once you've done that, like I said, do it till you're sick of it, and then do it some more, and you should be fine. And that will take care of it. Now ongoing defog. Then of course, as with all dive gear, rinse it in fresh water. Okay, after you're done with it. Doesn't matter whether it's a pool or whether you're in salt water or even in muddy water. Just rinse your dive gear in fresh water. Get home, put it in. I have a tub that I use. I put everything in there, rinse it off, and then let it dry. So that's the best way to take care of it. When you want to use defogger, once you prepped your mask for its first dive, then you want to use some defogger. And I have a whole bucket full of crap that doesn't work. I've found this stuff here that we sell here to be really good. People will use anything from spit. You'll see people make up things on with all kinds of homemade concoctions. But this stuff works extremely well, and so I really recommend this stuff. This 500 psi works great. Comes with a little clip. You clip it off, so you've always got it with you. So that's that. Most of these masks come with little carry cases too when you come, so you can store your mask in that too. But yeah, just rinse after you've prepped your mask. Then you're done. Just make sure you rinse it and use some defog on every dive.
Can you get prescriptions for these?
Oh yes, you can. We can get prescriptions for any mask. This particular mask, we can get them in usually quickly. This is basically Aqualung. We have a manufacturer that makes them and has a lot of them. I want to say pre-made at different prescription sizes, so it's relatively quick to get them, and they're pre-made for this particular mask, so they're relatively inexpensive as prescriptions go. But we can get any lenses made for any mask, but it's as with all lenses, anybody who wears glasses knows they can get pretty expensive when you start getting into custom grinding. So yeah, and it may take a while, but we can get lenses made for any mask. Any other questions? Fantastic. Well, guys, it's been fun. Tomorrow we're going to broadcast. We're going to do another broadcast, probably from home, and I'm going to go over. I'm going to show you when I pack for a trip to the blue water. Because packing for a trip is different. There's differences that go into packing for trips. So tomorrow I'm going to do a little broadcast about packing gear for trips. Now, what I take, what I don't take. and we'll go over that. So if no other questions, I guess I'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe, and I'm going to wipe everything